This is Ben Davison. Subscribe to Stephen Icon.
Okay, so today, November the 9th, marks exactly 1 month since Tyson Fury defended his WBC and Ring Magazine World Heavyweight titles against Deontay Wilder to complete their trilogy, where he absolutely destroyed, demolished, bounced up and down off the canvas Deontay Wilder, and then ultimately knocked him out in round number 9. Now, firstly, before we get into the main story of this particular video, that was 31 days ago. The WBC said that the winner of Fury and Wilder, which of course turned out to be Tyson Fury, thankfully, then have 30 days to negotiate with Alexander Usyk. Of course, we all knew that weren't going to happen anyway, but now the 30 days has passed. Now the 30 days have passed. Now Tyson Fury is supposed to be negotiating with the WBC interim World Heavyweight Champion, Dillian Whyte, as per the order from the WBC. In reality, either one of these sides could have sent offers beforehand. There's no reason why you couldn't. So why didn't anybody? Who knows? Who knows? Now, John Fury, Tyson Fury's dad, has said this about Tyson Fury's next moves. And this is what John Fury had to say. He'll have a good, hard-earned rest now, and what he wants to do is up to him. I said retire. He's won everything. He's got no more to prove. He's got millions in the bank, secure for life, but he's his own man. He'll do what he wants to do. John Fury's statement to BT Sport. Now, firstly, okay, John Fury is correct as far as basically he's won everything. There is no heavyweight belt left for him to add to his mantelpiece. I know Tyson Fury has said time and time again that he don't care about titles, he don't care about the belts. Well, he does, because he's always posing next to his collection of belts, isn't he? So he does care about them, and of course he's collected every belt along that the heavyweight division has to offer. So clearly he does, all right? But that aside, we can certainly agree, yes, he's won every single belt that he could possibly win. But he doesn't have the undisputed crown. Okay, it's an invisible crown, but the undisputed tag means that you own all 4 of the major sanctioning bodies: WBA, WBC, WBO, and IBF. You hold them all together at the same time. That's undisputed. It's unfortunate that it is that way, but it is that way, despite the fact that he is currently undefeated still and all that good stuff. But that's the reality. Now, as far as Tyson Fury, he's won everything. Yeah, true, but he's got no more to prove. Depends on how you look at it. Does he want to go down as the greatest of this era? Does he want to be spoken about as one of the greatest of all time? Don't get me wrong, of course, there are some Tyson Fury fanatical fans out there who will say that he's already proved that he's the best of this era. He's already proved that he's one of the best of all time. But in reality, and this is a reality check, he's only defeated Vladimir Klitschko and Deontay Wilder. I don't care how many times you fight and defeat them, you've only defeated 2 people. Personally, I will put in Derek Chisora, but not many people want to for whatever reason that may be. But Klitschko and Wilder. Now, I say this about all the heavyweights, all active heavyweights right now. I don't care if your name is Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Alexander Usyk, whatever name you want to throw at me right now who's an active heavyweight, and nobody's proven that they are the best of this era. Do you know why? Because they haven't all fought each other. And that's the reality of it. We could look at it and say, well, Tyson Fury, he's fought and defeated Klitschko, long reigning champion. He's fought and defeated Deontay Wilder 3 times. Officially 2 times, of course, one of them was a draw, but former long reigning champion, yeah. Okay, I mean, granted, Deontay Wilder does have a resume full of cab drivers and road sweepers, but reality is, he's a long reigning champion. So Tyson Fury, he has won everything that there is to win, but he's still got to go see Anthony Joshua. He's still got to go see a Dillian Whyte. He's still got to go see quite a few other fighters, really. If you look back on all their greats from the past, they all cleaned up their heavyweight division within their era. They all fought each other. And then one man was stood out on top. And none of them fought 2 people and became the best of their era, and then thus being considered as one of the greatest of all time. That never happened. So while you could say, yes, Fury, he has fought and defeated Klitschko and Wilder, and he has won every belt that there is to offer, that's cool, and it's a hell of an achievement, that's for sure. But Anthony Joshua has fought and defeated more top-rated opponents than Tyson Fury. So has Dillian Whyte. Arguably, so is Deontay Wilder, believe it or not. But does that mean that they are better than Tyson Fury? No, of course not. Now, for me, I've said this time and time again that ain't no heavyweight out there is going to get credit from me for being better than somebody unless you fight them. People out there can say, well, Joshua would knock out Tyson Fury. Cool, prove it. People out there will say Tyson Fury would knock out Anthony Joshua. He will fight and defeat Dillian Whyte. Easy work. Cool, prove it. You're not going to get credit from me until I actually see it with my own eyes. That's how I am, okay? So, would Tyson Fury go down as the greatest of this era? Some will say yes, but in reality, no, because he's still more to prove. There is more to prove. He's done fantastic so far, and that's the reality, he has. But he still needs to see Joshua, Usyk, Dillian Whyte, and so forth. Maybe a Joe Joyce at some point. Maybe Filip Hrgović, maybe Tony Yoka. Who knows who else is going to be coming through? But you need to be cleaning up your era. Even if it takes a loss or two along the way, that's fine. But you judge it at the end when you have fought everybody. That's what all the greats do. They fight everybody that they possibly can. They don't just fight two people and sail off into the sunset. That's not how it works. Same with Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua's fought more top-rated opponents than anybody else. He's taken a couple of losses. Yeah, cool. But he's still got a bit of work to do. There are still other fighters out there we need to see Anthony Joshua fight. Same with Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte's my guy. He's my pal. But he still needs to go see Tyson Fury. He needs to go see Anthony Joshua. He needs to go see a Deontay Wilder. Anybody who's active, they all need to go see each other. That's how I see it. So for me, there ain't no way. If Tyson Fury was to retire right now, I wouldn't put him down as the greatest of this era because he hasn't proved it. You don't get credit for being better than Anthony Joshua or Dillian Whyte or Alexander Usyk unless you fight them and defeat them. That's the only way you can get credit from me. Same with anybody. I'm very, very fair and even across the board with that particular statement. Now, will Tyson Fury retire? I would say unlikely. Firstly, because his fight with Dillian Whyte, that's an all-British clash. That would be the biggest all-British heavyweight world title clash since Lennox Lewis and Frank Bruno. Can anybody disagree with that one? Maybe somebody might want to say David Haye and Audie Harrison. Do me a favour, as Frank Warren would say. But that's a huge fight. Why wouldn't he want that? Why wouldn't he want a homecoming? His last 5 fights have been out there in America. He's a British fighter. Once in a while, you need to be fighting, well, in the country that created you. In front of the fans that made you popular. Those who have supported you. Those who've been putting money into your pocket. From the early days of the even the amateurs, the small horse shows right the way through. You need to give them something back. You've got a world title. Well, repay them by fighting and defending that WBC belt in front of their eyes on their own front doorstep, i.e. their own country. And of course, there's a huge ton of money to be made. He will make more money fighting Dillian Whyte than he has done fighting Deontay Wilder. I can guarantee you that. Guarantee it. Now, also, yes, he does have one fight left on his ESPN deal. So if he walked away, is he liable to be sued? Maybe. I don't know, to be honest with you. But although one question though, this is something that I thought about before. Maybe one of you can answer the question, or a bunch of you. Tyson Fury has one more fight left on his ESPN deal. Let's just say, hypothetically, as an example, Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte, they can't negotiate a deal. It then goes to purse bid, and let's just say, for argument's sake, Eddie Hearn wins that purse bid. Fury, Dillian Whyte fight, and it's going to be on DAZN, not on ESPN. Does Tyson Fury still owe ESPN a fight? In theory, yes, he does, doesn't he? Because he signed a deal saying, I will fight on ESPN 5 times. So if his next fight is going to be on DAZN, or it's going to be on Sky, or it's going to be on Fox, whatever, and it's not shown on ESPN, he will still owe them a fight, won't he? Anyway, food for thought. Now, just to conclude, if Tyson Fury retires, it wouldn't surprise me if he did, to be honest with you. Yes, there will be a bunch of you running around saying Tyson Fury is the best of this era, as people currently are, and that's fine to believe that. There's nothing wrong with believing it, but I said before, you need to prove it. So, for me, I need to see it. You don't get credit for being better than Dillian Whyte until you fight and defeat him. You don't get credit for being better than Anthony Joshua or Alexander Usyk until you fight them and prove it. That's the reality of it, and vice versa and that as well. But anyway, I mean, hopefully he doesn't retire. I don't want to see him retire. There's still quite a few fights out there I'd like to see him participate in. As I said before, even if he takes a bump in the road once in a while, takes a loss. For me, I don't hold somebody zero to that kind of standard that a lot of other people do. I mean, look at the greats of the past. It's only really, as far as heavyweight division, it's only really like a Rocky Marciano, who retired undefeated, but look how many fights he had. You know? Tyson Fury hasn't had that many, really. He's only had, 31, 32? 32, I think it is now. Anyway, that's my thoughts. You drop me yours. Click thumbs up and, of course, subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next video.